All right, for sale, I have a custom barstool go-kart slash barstool racer. Um, Built this thing for the kids. It ended up being too much power for them, more power than I thought it was actually going to be. On this cart, we have a Predator 212 version number 69730. I removed the tank remotely and installed it up here. There is a rod up here that I welded that actually holds the tank in place from leaning, and it's mounted through here, which I had welded studs in there for that. This 212 has the ARC throttle plate on it, so it's not rigged up. It actually has a throttle plate, and it's all hooked up the way it should be. It also has a airspeed adapter, air filter adapter, and air filter with the choke hold down here. That's one thing a lot of guys do. They put this put an airspeed adapter or their air adapter on, and then they'll rig something up to hold this down. It came as a kit. K&N filter for the valve cover. As a EverStart 12-volt battery, use that to run the lights on here. I'll show you that feature in a second that I put on there. With this battery, also you could purchase a kit which is made for the Honda, but it does fit this version of the 212 Predator, which is a key start with a charging system that will charge this battery for the lights. So I was originally going to do that, but since now I end up having to sell it, I'm not going to do that. That's at the buyer's discretion. It does have tail lights and turn signals. Now the turn signals needs a LED flasher, which the buyer could buy if they really care about using the feature, which is on there. So why not? But I'm not gonna do that again because I'm selling it. So I'll show you that they do work. Just needs the flasher. So turn signals, and I have brake lights. Okay, so we have left signal, amber, right signal, amber. Also, we have the brake light. Okay. Use the bar stool, obviously. This was actually a $200 bar stool that I purchased from a buddy. And I put it on here because I didn't have any other use for it. I had them sitting here. That's one thing I thought about when I was thinking about building this thing is I had a bar stool that I wasn't using. Hey, bar stool to be expensive anyway, so I decided to just go ahead and chop one up and use it. The tank, again, has been remotely mounted. These wheels on here are Douglas wheels. This is a 5-inch wheel. The tire on it is a 4.60 size tire. They're MG tires, which is probably about 80% left on the tire. Maybe a little bit less, but about 80%. I have Douglas wheels in the back. This is a 7.1-inch tire, Bridgestone. Those tires were brand new, mounted on those wheels. We have the normal setup as you would if you had a motorcycle. We have the brake with a master cylinder here. You got your switches here. You do have your throttle, of course, like a mini bike motorcycle. We do have, for the braking system, we have a brake caliper mounted. I actually fabricated a bracket to weld in there, so you could actually remove the axle as you were doing a go-kart without any restriction. You could remove the axle, work on it, whatever, put it back, and it's all set up the way I have it set up for convenience. To be like if you bought it as a kit, you put it together, you can take it apart the same way. Okay. Again, we got Douglas wheels front and back. We do have headlights on here as well, hooked in and switch here. Those things are super bright. I mean, lights up the whole street when you're driving down there. So if you decide to ride this thing like a trail or something, not too bumpy. But this thing is about say about 2 inches, 2.5, maybe 2.5 inches off the ground. So I wouldn't say ride down a bumpy trail. Instead, let's imagine a regular street go-kart going down a trail. So obviously you wouldn't do that. So we got these spindles actually for a TAG cart or shifter cart. These are actual spindles because I had to use the Douglas wheels. I had bought some Douglas wheels to build a go-kart anyway, so I decided to put them on the bar stool here. Now the rear axle is a 1-inch axle, and it has a custom hub that I had made for it because I had axles and I didn't want to go and buy axles and buy everything I had for the 1-inch axle. So I ended up finding a company, BMI Karts. They actually outsource, but they get you you can get a custom hub made for if you want to use a foreign or millimeter wheel, and you can mount that to that. So that's everything that I pretty much did to it. I'm going to go ahead and start it up for you guys so you can see how it starts. It starts 1 or 2 pulls all the time, no issues at all. Don't need priming. Usually don't need priming or anything like that. It's been sitting and I started right up. Now, one thing I did run the wiring for the lights and everything. What someone's probably going to do is you're going to have to run some loom to cover those wires, but that's something I was going to do afterwards because I had to get everything wired to make sure everything was going to be right. So I was going to put loom on it, and I had to go back and make any changes for any reason. The buyer would want to put loom on that, but for the most part, I just got through riding this thing. Just got the steering trued up, so the steering is like perfect. You hit any bumps. Before I was hitting bumps and it was like want to sway and get away. So I got it when you hit a bump, you going straight over like a go-kart. No problems. For the exhaust, I did buy a lawnmower muffler, which it got hot. That's why this is color like that. But I bought a galvanized fitting that this fit right into. And I grinded all the galvan off of it, the coating off of it, and welded it to a pipe. And then I put a rod here to hold the pipe in place, because when these pipes get hot, thin material, it tends to, especially with the shaking, it starts bending. It happened before. So I decided to put a rod there. You could actually unbolt this and put it back on, take it off, so nothing like welded in place, anything like that. But this thing starts right up. So let me go ahead and start up for you guys. No further ado. Make sure it's on here. Okay, the switch is on, and the choker needs to be all the way back to start it. And when you're running, I feel like it gets most power at is about around here. So just about a 1/4 of an inch more from start is where your power is at. So I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. Fire it right up. That was beautiful. Like burn. Oh, it cut off. I don't know why it cut off, but oh, you know what? I didn't have it all the way back here for starting. All right. So it purrs like a kitten here. I do have the battery on a charger. The battery is good. I'm going to take the negative off so you see the battery is good. No issues. Like I ran it down because I was out riding and I didn't want it to be sitting low, so I decided to put it on a charger. But you do also have these LED headlights. These headlights are super bright. I mean, they light up the street light. And if you want to do some trail riding where you're going on a nice soft trail, you can ride this thing, and this thing is gonna get you from where you want to go. So here you can see the wheel. Okay, and that's it. We got the chain is in great condition. I bought everything new. We have the clutch there. I'm 300 pounds, and this thing pulls me, so no issues. I did put the most inexpensive clutch I could because I was still setting everything up. So if a buyer wants to change out and buy a different clutch, that's at your discretion. But this thing starts right up. It runs. I mean, let me give it a throttle so you can hear it. And it's still in start mode, so that's the power area. Okay, so that's the Barstool racer I have for sale. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. That's the Barstool racer I have for sale. Again, it's going to be listed on eBay and Craigslist. Any questions, don't hesitate to drop me an email. This is pretty much one of a kind. Most of the ones I see, they're a lot smaller. The wheelbase is a lot shorter. And they have a tendency where you can flip them over. But this has a wide wheelbase, and that's what I wanted for the kids to be safe. I wanted a wide wheelbase. The Barstool is shortened, so you can sit on this thing, and it's not like you're all up in the air. So I just wanted it to be, easy for the kids to ride. Again, so asking prices will be listed obviously on the eBay auction. Again, you got any questions, please give me a call. Or I'm sorry, send me an email. And happy bidding.